Welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast with author Sarah F. Hathaway and co-host Chen Gibson. Blending survival, fiction, and fact to bring you entertaining education that will help you dream, survive, and thrive. And now, here's your host, Sarah F. Hathaway and Chen Gibson.
Chapter 45. Cole danced until the sweat beaded thickly on his brow and dripped from the ends of his hair. As he approached the table, he noticed that Ginger had joined Monroe and Chappie. Monroe was telling her a story from the Great Quake. And then Chappie says, "Maybe the underwear bomber is on the plane," Monroe said, chuckling. "Chappie, you always come up with the best lines," Ginger told him, laughing heartily. "Hello, Ginger," Cole said, sitting in the chair. "There you are, Cole. Nice to see you relaxing," she told him with a wide smile. "Drink?" Cole asked, pouring himself a drink. "No, thanks," she replied politely. "You sure? The night is young," Cole urged. Before she could answer, Bennett approached. Blushing from the warm greeting, she replied, "Ginger Russell. And you are?" "Patrick Bennett, but you can call me anything you want," he replied politely, kissing the back of her hand. "She's already spoken for, Patrick," Monroe corrected. "Lucky you. What do you see in this slacker, Ginger?" Bennett asked, chuckling at his joke. "Must be his exceptional sense of humor," she teased back, kissing Monroe on the cheek. "Patrick, are you over here giving sweet Ginger a hard time?" Alex wondered, as he and Nicholton rejoined the men at the table. "Nah, I'm just wondering when she's going to lose the zero and get with a hero," Bennett joked. Eager to talk with Bennett more, Cole suggested, "Come on, Patrick, I want to show you this loadout." Ready for some air himself, Bennett agreed. "You can't go wrong with guns or girls." The party extended beyond Dolores's place, but out on the street the armed guards maintained order. "What brought you back?" Bennett asked, as the men traversed the parking lot. "Why do you stay in?" Cole countered. "I've always believed in my mission," Bennett explained. "I can respect that." "The roundups were tough," Cole told him. "We got so much of the fallout from California. Vegas has always been about rescuing people," Bennett defended. "And the re-education programs?" Cole wondered, entering his office. "A necessity to keep order," Bennett answered. Cole went to his desk and poured them both a drink. Twirling the liquid in his glass, Bennett prodded. "You never answered my question. What brought you back?" "I really didn't have a choice, did I?" Cole told him flatly. "The feds decided my home was in the Badlands. The tsunami destroyed my home, so I'm a refugee." Cole drank the liquid from his glass, put the cup on the desk, and went to a table in the center of a small sitting area. He sat down on the couch and pulled on the top of the table. The center square of the table lifted up. Cole moved it aside, revealing a beautiful rifle. "This is my baby," Cole told him, picking up the weapon and handing it to Bennett. "Nice. Custom from barrel to stock," Bennett stated, admiring the craftsmanship. "I've collected the parts as I go. She's just about perfect now, though. I just found that trigger mechanism," Cole told him, pointing out the parts. "Beautiful," Bennett declared, handing it back to him. "And what about you, Patrick? Are you a refugee?" Cole wondered. "I'm from Texas originally, but I never went home after the quake. I was stationed in California and stayed in Vegas after that." "I guess I am," Bennett answered. "Did you ever question the FEMA initiatives?" Cole wondered, putting the weapon away. "Honestly, I was too busy to think about it much," Bennett replied as they walked back towards the club. "If you believe in the cause, why did you ask them to reassign you?" Cole asked. "It's necessary, not enjoyable," Bennett admitted. "Is it necessary?" "You remember the chaos, the roundups. You of all people should understand the necessity of it," Bennett defended. "It's the other reason that brought me back," Cole admitted. "See, you know what I'm talking about. The orders keep us alive, and rules maintain order," Bennett stated, opening the club door. "I can't disagree," Cole responded as they approached the table. "Did you have a nice time polishing his barrel?" Alex asked Bennett with a wide grin. "Don't be jealous, honey," Bennett teased back as he sat down. "Where's Monroe and Ginger?" Cole asked Chappie, pouring himself a drink. Ginger was tired and Monroe took her to bed, Chappie explained. "Lucky dog," Bennett interjected. Those two certainly got close, Alex noted. I think it's going to be a permanent thing, Cole admitted. I think you're right, Cole. She's been acting strange lately, though, Cole explained. I haven't seen her have a drink for weeks. She's just taking a break, Major. She's fine, Chappie assured him. His thought pattern was disrupted as Jennifer snuck up behind him and whispered in his ear, You going to stay the night? He turned and kissed her neck. With an offer like that, how could I say no? Hello and welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast. This is episode number 444, season 15, episode 45. So normally I would say, hey, Chin, what's up? But today we're saying, hey, Dave, what's up? You got to unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. Hey.
That's what happens when you're the co-host. I bring you in sooner. Yeah.
Well, and I'm the backup,
my backup hitter today. Yeah.
Right.
It was pretty last minute, so I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, no problem. This is the unskilled backup co-host.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're way better at the show topic than I am. I'm just saying. So.
Well.
Oh, let's see what we got. So coming up, you are more than welcome to come back next week as well, Dave, because we're going to be doing a blooper show. We've reached the end of season 3 of the Changing Earth audio drama. So if you guys, you can go binge season 3 all the way through now if you want.
Oh my gosh. I'm not saying it's the best, but wow, it is the best I've heard. Okay.
Yep.
It is unbelievable. You'll be hanging on every word.
I was really happy with the end. I got a music upgrade, and it just really went 3.0 at the end. So
exactly.
Mm-hmm. How did you like the when she enters the arena?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I could picture it in my mind.
Yes. Me too. I was like, oh, I mean, I don't want to pat my own back, but like nailed it as far as the sounds went. I was so selective of like trying to find the right presentation. So yeah, that was good stuff. And season 4 is going to be off the chain. I'm already working on episode 3 right now. So, and most everybody has all their lines in, so we're rolling. It's good stuff. Yeah. So next week, we're going to do the blooper show, little break from Virgis. And then on the 12th, we're going to do Women of Prepper Camp show. So we'll have Jane on. We'll get Rhonda on. We'll get some good guests for you guys.
Yeah.
Just Jane is, going to fill it up. I got to hit Jordan up. So.
Yeah.
But that's fun. I've always wanted to do the Women of Prepper Camp show, and I put it off every year, and then I don't do it. So I put it on my calendar on purpose this year. And of course,
I am going this year. I'm going to set up the substitute. I'm going to get an extra day. Last year it was
miserable without you. I mean, yeah, we missed you big time. So they got to have the photo bomber in there for one thing. And you didn't get to hear my anti-kidnapping and sexual assault class, which went really well.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I've heard great things about that.
I've gotten a couple opportunities to teach it. Then I feel blessed to just be able to help people, with audiences that aren't in the preparedness community. It's all new to them. And, so very eye-opening for a lot of them. So very good stuff.
Well, and timing too. I mean, the timing couldn't be better with the movie. What was it?
The Sound of Silence, right?
Yes,
Sound of Silence.
Yes.
I had actually been researching Tim Ballard for like years before that. That's why I wrote Dark Days in Denver the way I did, and really why TJ became the character he is because of Tim Ballard and everything I learned from him.
Yeah.
And I had to bring it to the forefront. I was like, look at this, like huge problem, guys. And we're worried about slavery in the past. I understand that was a really big deal, but there's a lot of people still being held as slaves today.
Yeah. There is more people, and I bring this out in my history class. there is more people being held slavery and captive today than there was when it was legal.
Yes. It's really sad. And not a lot of people like come forward and talk about it. And it's such a problem. And they're here in the United States, even.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, well, that's other countries. No. It's your country.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think that board at Walmart is full of people all the time?
Yeah. And here in Texas, we get Amber Alerts on our phone. Like whenever a kid goes missing in the state, and you just get them day after day after day. And you're just like, oh my gosh, something has to be done. So.
Yeah. Well, Texas, big state too.
Yeah. And it can be like a lot of times it's parents and custody issues and things like that. But, a lot of times it's not. So.
Okay.
Alrighty, so Virgis's episode today was actually a bonus episode. It's really a scene that I wrote that's not included in the audio drama because I had to show like what Virgis and Bennett were doing when they weren't there at the table. So we had to follow Virgis on that journey. So it was fun to put together that one. And basically Virgis is just trying to get information out of him. And feel Bennett out. Like, will he come over to our side, right? And like I was saying in the green room, this is something I really struggle with. I'm not the best at I'm way too honest and candid of a person. You can see like what my intentions are kind of written all over me. So I'm the worst. I'm like always like, Brock, you've got to vet people because I have no idea. I'm the worst. So I did do some research, but I've got you on the show. And so you had some tips for us. So let's jump into it.
Well, yeah. Okay. First of all, with my police background, you want to, when you interview someone, you want them to spill their guts. So in order to them to do that, you have to ask open-ended questions. And the open-ended questions are like, what did you do? How did that make you feel?
Uh-huh.
You open it up so that there is just a wide swath of the way they can answer this. That's an open-ended question. When you start getting into specifics, then they clam up. What time was that?
Right. Because they know you're digging on a specific item then.
Right. Another thing, if you want people to feel comfortable, and you got to do this up front, before the interview, you got to relax them. So you might offer them a cup of coffee, something to drink, talk about something that has nothing to do with what you're there for. And this is when I was in sales. Okay, there's three things you can always talk about: the house, the family, or their junk.
Or their junk?
So, their job.
Oh, their job. I was like, their junk, like at home or like personally? Okay.
No, they're, what they do for a living.
Yeah, got you. Same page.
What do you do for a living? If you say that, they're going to give you.
Oh, yeah.
Or this is a really nice house. When did you guys move in? Oh, they'll give you the history. The history. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they have pictures in their home of their family, you can say, wow, I see that you have a really big family. And then they'll go on about their oldest, their youngest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
That has nothing to do with why you're there, but it relaxes the people and starts getting them to answer questions.
And establishes that baseline trust with them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to just sling something at you. You can trust me, right?
Right. Yeah, and then once you do that, then you can start narrowing in on the subject that you really want to talk about.
Yeah, that is one thing that I've really developed as far as my communication style, because I am so direct that I'm like, hey, take a minute and listen to what they're actually telling you instead of just being like, oh, this is the next point I need to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a way that you can answer any objection. Okay. And it's called feel, felt, found. Okay. So they come up with an objection. They're totally against whatever you said. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Let me tell you what I found.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So feel, felt, found. And then you go over how this is better than, what you're thinking, or this is the solution to the answer. Feel, felt.
I like that. I'm taking notes. I found, because I used heart, hear, acknowledge, repair, thank. It's like whenever I'm handling a problem with a client, I understand, listen to them. I acknowledge your problem. I try to repair it, and then thank them for bringing it to the forefront so I can address it in the future. Right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one, though.
I feel, felt, found. I felt the same way. You're empathizing with them. Let me tell you what I found.
Yeah, and it really acknowledges their feelings there too. So they feel like they've been heard. And that's always most important, of like, oh, they really understand where I was coming from.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, and if you want to get into strong interrogation techniques, okay, this is where you start making people feel uncomfortable. And this is how you make them feel uncomfortable, is you deprive them of, food, water. You let them sit for a long period of time, okay, so that they feel uncomfortable and exposed, so that when you do offer them a drink, do you want a drink of water? Oh, yes, absolutely. I've been here for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then that opens the door. So these are little techniques. When you bring someone in for questioning, you want to, it depends upon the situation, but you want to make them feel uncomfortable, and, you're depriving them of certain things, like even going to the bathroom. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry it took so long. Do you have to go to the bathroom? Yes.
Yes, please let me out of here so I go to the bathroom. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Swenson knows all about those ones. I had to research that kind of stuff. I had a friend who is a former member of a biker gang. We'll just put it that way. And he walked me through a lot of the interrogation stuff that they used to do, which is horrific to listen to. But I don't think that way. I couldn't come up with ideas for going that dark. Oh, it was kind of tough. So,
well, let me give you an example. And this is, I am not recommending this to anyone, but I purchased for $50 this dog shock collar.
Oh, the dog shock collar. Yep.
Well, yeah. And my dog, he barked a lot, but he is just plain stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. And I thought, man, I put this on him and I shock him, and Bucky just is stupid and I'm shocking him. So I put that thing back. I couldn't take it back. It was past the time you could take it back. And I'm like, you know what? On a human being, that would be a great interrogation.
Our airsoft rifles, they don't really.
Yeah.
If you're close, you could. Yeah. If you're close, you could. Yeah. We can cut cardboard with them and stuff. But it's not going to be. But if you were tied down and somebody was shooting you, it would
tied to a chair.
Yeah. This would be the best.
Put the dog shock collar on it.
No. Oh man, good thing I didn't have Doug on for this show. Yeah, that you just stay tuned to the changing Earth. That's all I gotta say. If you read my books all the way through, but my thought is, if you were like in a community surviving post-apocalyptic, and you have the opportunity to kind of just have a conversation with somebody who's from another community. Like, obviously, the game is going to be, like, learn as much as we can with telling you as little as we can. And both sides would be thinking that same thing.
Exactly.
So, like, obviously, I'm not the person you want to send because I'd be like, so, we're hanging out. Like,
we got all this.
You know, and I wouldn't, I know what's legit and what's not, when to keep my mouth shut and when to open it. But I'm still not the best of, like, it's more like I'll give you something, you give me something, I'll give you something, you give me something. Yeah. So, and you just don't want to give too much.
And when you're talking to someone like that, it's kind of like playing poker. Yeah. So you got to look for their tells. If they're looking down and to the left, maybe they're not telling you the truth on whatever you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to look. Or maybe they're jiggling their foot because they're not really comfortable with what's going on. They're just nervous.
Right. And you could kind of pick that out through, like, ask them a question that's an easy one for them. Where are you from, kind of thing. Or something like that, where they'd answer really quickly, and then throw one that you're curious about. So.
Or, here's one that opens people up. People that are preppers or police officers. Hey, that's a really nice piece you got there. What is that, a SIG?
Oh, yeah? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, all about my gun. And now you know what they look like when they're being honest.
The knife. Yeah, if they have a knife on there.
Is that a
buck, or is that a Gerber?
Oh, man.
I will give you a buck. This is Gerber,
Yeah, fair enough. I'd be talking all about Teddy, my Tavor. I'd be like, so Teddy's my best friend.
Yes.
Right?
Because you're proud as heck of that.
Oh, man. I never thought I'd own that thing. So, yeah.
Well, that's sweet. I got to tell you, that's sweet.
It's a part of me. I found it $1,000 less than I've ever seen it before. I just had to. I had to. My husband actually made me, so to speak. He was like, hey, there's the gun you always wanted. Why don't you pick it up? I'm like, because I'm going to buy it then. He's like, yeah, pick it up. No, it's the best.
You just opened up?
I did. Right there it is. Oh, see how bad I am?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could do that with anybody and any piece of gear they're carrying.
Yeah.
They made a decision. They went through a thought process to buy that backpack, that belt, that holster, whatever they're carrying. And if you want to open, their pants.
Yeah.
If you want to open them up and get them to relax, hey, those are really nice. Where'd you get them?
Yeah, and you're fluffing their skirt at the same time because you're like giving them props for their decision-making skills to carry that item.
Yeah.
That's so good. See?
And not only that, if you're in a grid down situation and you got the wagon circled, okay, the person that does the interrogation cannot be the person that did the capture. Okay?
Okay.
It has to be someone else. You speed them. We used to have an acronym for capturing. It wasn't salute. Gosh darn. Size, activity, location, unit, time, and equipment. That's salute. That's a salute per report. It was something else. When you capture someone, you speed them to the rear. The S was speed. And that was to get them to the person that was going to open them up. And that person in your group has got to be the person with the best skills.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a thing. And and you blindfold them, you put a bag over their head, they can't see anything about your operation, and no one takes that off until the person that's going to talk to them talks to them. And no one talks in front of them about anything.
Oh, yeah.
That they can hear, that they can listen to, because they're gathering information all the time, too.
Right.
And no matter what their disposition is, whether they become a part of your group or they get released or whatever their disposition is, they're gathering information whether they know it or not. So you never talk anywhere that they can hear you.
Yeah, anytime I've been in like a bad situation when I was younger, I've been in some, sorry to say, but immediately I start like memorizing landscape and all of that kind of stuff of like, you know, where does every step take us and how would I get back kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even with a hood on, I'm going to be doing the same thing. How far am I walking? What directions are we turning?
What language are they speaking? Do they have an accent? You know, and when they bring them back to get interrogated, you might want to take a zigzag fence. So it seems like a long ways, you know, from where I got captured.
Yeah, fair enough.
Zigzag path. Another thing that they did in the military, when they captured someone, they took their boots. Okay.
They did what?
So they took their boots.
Oh, got you. Okay.
So they would not run.
Because you don't want to leave with bare feet.
And it's also uncomfortable. And it's a thing that the interrogator can give them back.
Fair enough.
Hey, your feet are hurting. They brought you here. I told them not to take your boots off. Would you like your boots back?
I love that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, definitely would like my boots back.
Yeah.
You can watch out for even once you give them back to them. Like, what signs are they displaying? Like looking like, oh yeah, I'm finding this escape route, that escape route. That would be the tough part.
Just the basic condition of their boots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if those boots are new and they're in good shape.
Oh, that's so true in a post-apocalyptic situation.
Yeah, that unit's well supplied.
Or
because
are they just trashed on their last limb?
Yeah, exactly.
The boots are wore out, duct taped twice to just show you like they're desperate.
Yep.
Because that would put your group in even more danger if they were that desperate. If they're well supplied, you probably don't have too many worries, unless they just want more.
Right.
But if they're desperate, they will just throw caution to the wind to come at you.
Sarah, I don't know if this is where you wanted to go with.
I mean, it's been a great combo. I'm just saying. Oh, these are what I love. How do you think my author brain works? So the other thing that I was checking out too is just going into difficult situations. You know, as far as like having those difficult conversations, because I've managed a lot of people in my life, and learning how to communicate effectively is like as important as going to the gym each week. It's really like a muscle you have to flex and keep learning. So instead of avoiding these really difficult conversations, you can manage them better. So,
well, I will tell you this, that as a police officer, I observed how interracial communication is. Like if I had a black partner and I went into a black family's house, they would open up to him and they wouldn't say crap to me. And it's the same way with a woman. If the thing happens to a woman, they won't open up to another man.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the situation depends on, hey, you captured a woman. Maybe you should have a woman talk to her.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Because she'd be much more willing to open up about like maybe how she's being treated there or things like that.
Yep. Exactly.
Well,
Whereas with another man, she just thinks it's
oh, maybe
another
I'm just going to
situation.
get beat on some more or something.
The same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but to another woman, she may open up and just spill.
Right. Well, and that's a technique I use in my books a lot, actually, is like the women and the guys. Like the women that are promiscuous can get a lot of information out of the guys.
Oh, absolutely.
You gotta send in your spies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in order to improve that skill, having clear goals is really important. Of having a clear goal in your mind, because I think that's where I get kind of lost. Is I'll just get caught up in the conversation and let it move. But when I have to host a show, for example, or moderate a panel of speakers, we have to kind of reach certain areas. And so I have to direct that conversation. It's more of actively conversating instead of just passively conversating.
Yeah. Well, and recording, whoever's asking the questions cannot write down the answers. Or if you have a recording device, just record the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're interrogating, someone else has to write down everything that person says, because as soon as you take their eyes off and you're looking down at a pad, that means you're not interested anymore, and they stop.
Yep. It breaks the continuity of the conversation.
Yep. You want it to keep flowing, and you want 100% attention on that person. Every little influx of emotion, you have to be able to key on to get more.
That's a really good point. And it makes you really nervous when somebody else is writing down your responses.
Exactly.
It's just a horrific feeling.
Someone they can't see who's off to the side or in the back. Yeah, and they're writing down what they're saying, everything, taking notes.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's the worst. When you're I've had to do some tests with teachers, and they ask you, and then they're writing, and you're like, what are you writing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Or I do a lot of pitches for my TV show.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't turn the video on. Right? So you're on video, pitching this, and their video's not on. So you can't even judge, did they just understand what I just told them?
Yeah.
It's like pitching to a brick wall. So you can't, read them and feel them. So like you say, when their eyes go down, now that is broken. Yeah, you don't know if they're, really with you or just sitting there to take notes.
Yeah. If you have a recording device, don't let them see you turn it on. Okay.
We're going to start this meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye. That is a shutdown for sure.
Yeah.
All righty. I think I'm good. I really like that. I think we're at a good space. Good space. So I've got to pick your mind a little bit. We're into the audio drama a little bit more, because I know you're the man who helps me out with so many characters. And so I've been trying to get you some good characters that are going to last. But, I got to tell everybody.
Okay. I just want to know if they're going to die, so I don't have to put a lot of,
Oh, no, I'm definitely not telling you, for sure. For sure.
Look, I think everyone's dead or dying so far. I mean, I think the last lines I sent to you for the general.
Nope, spoiler. And you're wrong about that one too, by the way. Yeah, you're wrong. So
I want to see how that comes out.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to call you out on. I'm like, oh, don't think so fast. But
he's a survivor.
You're not the only one who's like, oh man. I'm like, guys, it's really a post-apocalyptic fiction. You know, you get that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he's gotta die, you know.
I know people get attached. It's awesome.
Not everybody lives
It's been a
on
ton
the
of fun.
walking dead.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So we just don't know who is going to like make it through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's half the fun of it. I guarantee.
I haven't run out of accents yet, so I'm good.
I guarantee there are going to be some surprises coming up this season. I actually have a really great character for you, though. I can spoil this one if anybody knows my books. It's Gear's character, so you get to play a Viking warrior. And yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, that'll be your like coup de grace character for you because he's a pivotal guy and he'll be a lot of fun for you to do. So I was like, yeah, let's give Dave.
Massive. He's massive.
Yes, he's like he believes in the Viking gods and he will. Yes, he'll smile in Valhalla.
Him all in.
During the show, how about the episode 8, I believe it is, where Erica takes the stand for her kids when Vince is dying?
Yes. And the audio, oh my gosh, it was great.
Yeah. That was Brad's song from 5 Times August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it fit in perfect. It's from his the first CD. Gosh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's all his old songs, which some of them are phenomenal, obviously. And that one's called like The Fight, and it was just so perfect. It just laid in.
It was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. What was another like if you had to pick one of your faves out of this season 3?
Oh gosh.
I know.
When they meet train.
What's that?
When they meet up on the train. Everybody. I mean, it's like a whole intersection of. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, when Virgis is taking her through the wall.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely a suspense moment when like Sergey's right there.
Yeah, and I can see them like fingering their sidearms.
Right?
You know,
yeah.
Like, okay, I'm not going to draw, but if he draws.
And Sergey's like, can I pull this off without?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I could, oh my God, I could see their faces weighing it, measuring it, and they're just talking. And I know you know, and you know I know.
Right.
And, yeah, it was great. It was great.
Nice. Very cool. I was curious which one was your favorite. Yeah. Like I say, this season's gonna be. We start out square in the action, and it just never stops. These are some of my most like exciting books coming up. So, well, I really like the season 3 was based on The Walls of Freedom, and that is one of my favorite books that I've written because I did so much of the wilderness survival information in there. And then we had to create the whole world of like what society really looks like now outside of the Badlands, you know?
Yeah.
So that was a challenging book. You should pick that one up one time. Have you read any? Has Deanna been reading them?
Well, she hasn't started. She got on some kind of a horror thing.
Oh, got you.
She's in a kind of a goth mood right now. So.
She is so, wow, she brings it. She's like, I want justice for Margaret. If she comes to prepper camp, she just might give Doug a beat down there. I'm telling you.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to put it, if she wants to come, she's more than welcome.
Yeah, for sure. We'd have a huge bit of the cast there, for sure. Doug will be there teaching this year, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, because you missed him last year.
Radio listening land, if you want to meet Virgis, come to prepper camp.
Virgis, Swenson, Of course,
Swenson.
Erica and my whole family, the Moores.
Yeah.
James does Monroe or Hall now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't listen to the Matter of Facts guys without thinking Virgis.
Right? Everybody's been doing such a great job. I mean, he really stepped it up, and I actually have like a few professional performers in there now, and it's been really, really cool to do. I get to hear my friends' voices every day because I'm working on the audio drama pretty much every day. So I get to hear your guys' voices like all the time. It just makes me happy. So it works. It's so much work though. But so much fun too. So, if anybody is wondering like where I get a good deal of the music from, there's a site, Epidemic Sound. A lot of the new songs are coming out of there, and I'm not allowed to post them on my website. So, and if you're falling in love with a song, you can go to YouTube. The whole series, the whole Changing Earth audio drama is on YouTube now. It passed every copyright, everything, which was great.
What?
Yeah, I know. I was very careful, to make sure that I'm using the right sounds.
So you have a YouTube Changing Earth?
Yeah. Just look Changing Earth or go to Sarah F. Hathaway, F like Foxtrot. Yeah.
Okay.
They're all on
listen
YouTube
to
now.
it again. I've listened to it, I think 3 or 4 times. Now I'm going to listen to it again.
Right? Give them a like. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
And I did some cool shorts for the show over there as well. But on YouTube, when you click on it, YouTube gives you the names of the songs in it so you can see exactly which song is in exactly what episode. So that's pretty cool. A lot of people really like the soundtrack.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Running.
Running, I know. I was like, they are running. That is,
Yeah.
it was just the perfect song for it. So, and I have some that are saved. Like, I love this song, and it is being saved for this specific part of the show. Like, and it's 2 seasons from now, So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to jump into some Changing Earth news. You want to stick around, or are you gonna jump?
Well, I'll mute myself and stick around.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go ahead and play some of that news music because we have some stuff crack-a-lacking right now.
Dream, survive, thrive. This is Changing Earth News.
All right, Changing Earth News. Today is April 28th, 2024. We've been having a lot of M-class solar flares. Not really Earth-directed, but the sun's just been clicking them off just like nobody's business. Also, coronal holes, more incoming, some leaving, so we're still on earthquake watch, which has been one of the big stories of the week. On the 22nd of April, there was 416 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger. The biggest of which was a 6.1 in Hualien City in Taiwan. There was a 3.3 earthquake in North Carolina, and a hailstorm in South Carolina left cars and homes damaged. Alberta, Canada, and BC, they're already kicking off their wildfire season. They have 118 active fires, and they were evacuating people out of Virgis Creek on the 22nd. There's also been multiple wildfires popping up in Polk County, Minnesota, came up in the news. And then on April 23rd, 2024, there was 369 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.8 in Hualien City in Taiwan again. So there's been a big earthquake swarms going on in Taiwan. And also there was earthquake storms going on in Yellowstone on the 23rd. Arizona started having some wildfires. They've been kicking it off. Cochise County. I just saw that. I thought that was the best. So Cochise County, that's in southeastern Arizona. They've been having a lot of wildfires out there. On April 24th, There was 419 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, the biggest of which was a 5.4 in Chichijima Island in Japan. Southern China had heavy flooding. At least 4 people died in that event. It was in Guangdong. They were evacuating. And Athens, Greece, the skies turned totally apocalyptic as dust from the Sahara started invading from the Sahara. And Libya also got hit with that dust, northern Africa, that area. New Zealand was hit by Cyclone Gabriella. They did report a death out of that event. And then New Jersey had a big wildfire in one of their state forests. Italy also had one of their forests on fire, 2,000 acres burned in Florence. On the 25th of April, there was 437 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, the biggest of which was a 5.1 in the North Pacific Ocean. They have had at least 22 earthquakes that were 5.0 or bigger in Taiwan in the last few days. So that earthquake swarm just kept kicking. And really, it hasn't been holding up very much. On the 26th of April, there was 386 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 6.0 in the Indian Ocean. Tanzania has seen some massive flooding. 155 people died in that event so far. Nebraska had an EF3 tornado touchdown. On April 27th, there was 450 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 6.5 in the Indian Ocean near Jakarta. There was a 2.9 earthquake in Gladstone, New Jersey, a 6.5 in the Marianas Trench that day, and that 6.5 in Java. In Kenya, 45 people have died and thousands are displaced as they deal with flooding. They also had a ferry that was carrying people trying to get across the river that was completely swept away. Moscow also saw flooding on the 27th due to the massive amounts of snowmelt. In Iowa, there was 10 confirmed tornadoes on the 27th. And then India saw a forest fire in Uttarakhand, which is right near, it's in northern India. Iowa had 10 confirmed tornadoes on that day. I think I already said that one. April 28th, 24, there was 399 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.3 in Aichi, Japan. Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth. So that's today, folks. We had rain that caused flooding, submerging vehicles. They were performing water rescues there. Southern Russia, we've been talking about it last few weeks. They're still dealing with massive amount of flooding in the south with mudslides now happening and more snow melt coming in. Oklahoma, at least 16 tornadoes have touched down today. At least 2 people have lost their lives, unfortunately, including a 4-month-old. So just north of us got really, really insane. 30 people were injured in Sulphur. In China, Guangzhou was hit with a tornado as well. And then Nebraska and Omaha are also dealing with tornado touchdowns today. Just a mess pretty much from the south to the north. Storms popping up all along that area. And from what I've been watching on the Weather Channel, there's supposed to be more storms like that, just backing it up. Not really an end to that pattern so far this spring. As far as volcanoes erupting, this is the most volcanoes I've ever seen erupting on planet Earth in all of my years now of recording volcano numbers. We have 33 volcanoes actively erupting. That is up 1 from last week. 9 of those are in Indonesia. 9 of them alone are in Indonesia. That country is just, they need some prayers. Then showing minor activity, 21 volcanoes showing minor activity. That's up 3 from last week. And 27 showing unrest, which is down 2, but we actually added 2 to the list from last week. So lots and lots of volcanic activity going on planet Earth right now. As far as wildfires in the United States, we only have 3,940 acres burning total. That's from four large fires. There was 10 new fires, but 9 of those are contained. Arizona is our number 1 state on the list. They have 2 large active fires, 2,314 acres. Colorado is number 2 on the list with 1 large active fire, 1,475 acres. And then Virginia, still coming in on the list, 1 fire, 150 acres burning. So there you go. There's our Changing Earth news. Big takeaways are our volcanoes and the earthquake activity, which I don't really see slowing down this week due to the state of the solar energy.
Yeah. Now, if you go to where Sarah got all this information, Ben at Suspicious Observers, I mean, that guy, and I've noticed an uptick in strangeness.
Right? Yeah. It's getting quirkier. Not from him, from our planet. Just doing insane things. And Mars.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And it's weakening, and that's causing a lot of the things that we're experiencing, because things weren't like this about 20 years ago.
Yeah. The extremes are just going to become more and more extreme as we go until we see that flip. And things can settle back down, but it's going to be a wild ride till we get there. Yeah, I definitely recommend everybody check out Suspicious Observers. I get my solar information from him, which is the backbone of what I report on for the Changing Earth, So, and then I just try to take trends from our planet so I can back it up and show look, we got crazy stuff going on. It's not hard to see the patterns, for sure. Well, guys, that's all I got for you tonight. Dave, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your time and late notice, jumping on with me. You're always a blessing to have around.
Well, thanks. Happy to pinch hit.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. All right. Are you going to be able to pull the ending off? Yeah, come on now.
I think so.
All right, guys. Until next time, remember, dream,
survive,
thrive.
Thank you for joining Sarah and Chen for this episode of the Changing Earth podcast. Don't forget to pick up your copy of Day After Disaster, Without Land, The Walls of Freedom, Battle for the South, Dark Days in Denver, and The Endless Night at www.authorSarahFHathaway.com. If you love the Changing Earth series and podcast, become a supporter while you're there.